All right. So as I try to build out a little bit more content for my channel, I think I'm going to spend a little bit more time doing these honorable mentions in their own little thing here. Instead of just tacking them on as an end credit scene for you guys to hopefully hang around to check out, I figure I give them their own little special spotlight. So from here on out, I think I'm going to be doing the honorable mentions in a quick little video, kind of a add-on. So hopefully you like this. And again, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy what I'm doing. Hit that alert button so whenever I drop something, you get alerted for the quick little bits of content that I have to offer you. I don't want to keep you here all day. I want to give you a nice little quick videos of something you can just digest quickly. So with that said, going back to the Kate Bishop stuff, I got a few more villain ideas of things that to keep an eye out for. So I figured I couldn't squeeze them all into the 4 picks I was doing for Dollar Bin Digging. So here, that's why they're honorable mentions. So the first one, I noticed a character that showed up a few times and kind of is like a natural, a natural fit for a Kate Bishop is the Lady Bullseye. I know Daredevil. She appeared in Daredevil 111. Great book. You're not going to probably find that for $1. It's just not going to happen. I did, and I have, but it's not easy, and I'm not expecting everyone to. And Daredevil 111 is a good book, and I like it for this character. She has a fantastic look and a very interesting storyline. So I would pick these up if I could for cheap. You got the regular cover, and again, you got the Dodson, which I think is a 1 in, I don't know the ratio, but the Dodson is the next incentive, and then there's the harder to find, the David Aja variant, which is gorgeous. I luckily have one of these, but I had to pay up to get one. And also keep an eye out. There is a second print of this issue, so I've grabbed this one recently too, and I think this one could be a sneaky play as well, with everybody loving second prints these days. So hey, who knows? Maybe you get lucky and you find like a later printing of something like this in a bin. But again, chances of finding Daredevil 111, any of these versions or any of these prints are probably pretty slim. So what I'm looking at is kind of just like her appearances in that last few issues. And this is, again, while I'm talking about these villains, like Madam Mask I'm bringing up, and Lady Bullseye here, because, they kind of played a role with Eden Vale in that kind of wrap-up of Kate Bishop's solo series here. So in issue 15, we kind of get like that kickoff here, and we see like Eden Vale bringing in all of these villains back from time, because she has this weird time power where she can kind of pluck people out of for temporarily, like out of time. And she pulled in Lady Bullseye, she pulled in Swordsman, she pulled in Crossfire, who I mentioned last week, and she pulls in Boomerang, like these weird villains that actually are good fits for archers. Like, they're not overpowered. We're not talking about like a super Galactus fighting a guy with a bow and arrow, or a lady with a bow and arrow. We have more street level fights, boomerangs and bullets and knives and such. Definitely makes more sense. So Lady Bullseye is probably a good fit if they were to do something. Maybe even, they can tie in when they get Daredevil back under the Marvel umbrella over on Disney Plus. I don't know. But again, you can see here in issue 15, this kind of crew that Eden Vale is kind of brought together again. You see Lady Bullseye, and you see Madam Mask there, and Swordsman, as I mentioned before. So with that issue, you also have the final issue of her run, which is also a good idea to look out for too. That issue 16 is, again, it's the finale of this storyline, where you get the Lady Bullseyes and you get the Madam Masks and the Eden Vales there, which is why I'm mentioning these characters, because there's not a lot of material to go off of for solo Kate Bishop stuff, and I really feel they will do solo stuff before we get her, because I think a Young Avengers really needs to build to that. I don't think that's anywhere near close. I think we're years away from that. So they got to introduce still a lot of characters before we can put them all together into one team. So with that said, Lady Bullseye is my first honorable mention pick, which I will then roll into my next one, which is a repeat, which is why I had to make it an honorable mention. And in this one, I'm going to be looking more at the larger team of the Young Masters. I brought up this book, this Dark Reign Young Avengers #1, the start of this mini-series before, because it was the first appearance of the second Enchantress, Sylvie Lushton, I think her name is. I mentioned that a couple of months ago, maybe. It's still a good book to play, and this makes it even better because, you know what? Now that we're thinking about actually getting Young Avengers, it makes sense that we may get a villainous team for them to face. And again, you know how Marvel loves just to have that polar opposite to be that first face-off. So a team like the Young Masters is something that makes a lot of sense to show up as a foil for the Young Avengers. And before we get that, maybe some of these individual characters get introduced to make that team building also easier. So that's why maybe we'll get a Sylvie showing up in a Loki something down the line. And maybe in a Kate Bishop spinoff of some kind, maybe we get a character like the Executioner showing up because, again, he is more of that street level that you can see, with the weapons and the guns, kind of something to face off against. So that Dark Reign book is still a good book to pick up. The entire miniseries, probably, if you can get it for cheap. I think it's like 5 issues, definitely. But that first issue is the first appearance of all these individual characters here. So Yeah, so that's all I really got for you this week with honorable mentions. Just a couple extra books just to kind of keep in mind and to consider when you're out there digging. Hopefully you can find some of this stuff, and let's just keep comics fun. And hopefully you guys are doing well hitting those boxes. And until next time, I'll see you later.